Hi, thanks for listening. You know when women flirt, right? I'm an expert. I know when women are flirting. It's usually along the lines of "stop following me" or "get away from me, you creep." Something like that, right? I know. I can tell when women are flirting. Well, I've got this woman flirting with me. Oh God, I don't know. Her name's Amanda Marcotte, or Marco, or Marcotte. Uh, I'll just call her Sweet Cheeks, right? Anyway, this is what she looks like. So let's see a picture of her here. This is, ooh, hello Dimples. How are you doing? God, she may actually been with a chance after all. She's worth objectifying for a while. Sure. Well, in a press release picture. Don't look at any other pictures now. This is from The Raw Story, celebrating 10 years of independent journalism. I read this. I wouldn't be celebrating. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, she's put this article up. Don't know why she just won't come out and ask me out. At least be upfront and just come out and ask me out. Why not just ask me? I don't know. They've got to hide behind this nonsense. Answering questions asked of feminists by a misogynist. That's me. Here we go. Damn you, Lazy Myers, for exposing me to some squawking lady hater. That's me. Who has questions for feminists that were aimed at Aaron Ra. No, they weren't. I didn't aim them at Hard On Ra. Someone else happened to mention it to him. It wasn't me. It was aimed at... Well, actually, the funny thing is, these questions were aimed specifically at feminists who are the complete opposite of you, the ones who say that you are not a real feminist. So you answering these questions is just brilliant. It's brilliant. Rather than just ask me out. I don't know, ask me for dinner if you want to go for dinner. Questions he clearly believes feminists are too scared to answer. It's more like they can't answer, because I know for a fact if they could answer, they wouldn't be scared to, that's for sure. The truth is, they're too good to dialogue with people who ask fake questions in bad faith in the classic concerned troll style. Of course, but just to show we're not afraid, I'll take the bait. Also, I can just answer them here. Since Hard On Ra graciously typed them out, I can just answer them without having to do any of the gross work trying to dialogue with someone who isn't actually interested in the answers. That's me. So this is mostly for your amusement, folks. Hope you enjoy. Oh, let's hope so. So first question, who's the current leader of the feminist movement? Her answer is, your mom. Oh shit, I'm sorry, I read the question as the current leader in the giving birth to fart knockers movement. Very different movement. I don't know why there are not more women in comedy. I don't get it. I just don't get it. There is no leader of the feminist movement. Hard On Ra said Gloria Steinem. No, it's such a fucking imbecile. It used to be, but that is false because there has never been a dear leader of feminism. Why are you doing that? Are you doing that to wind me up? Why is that dear leader capitalised? Is this a wind up? That's a wind up. I'm going to put that down to more flirting on your part, Amanda. As hard as it may be for misogynists, that's me, to believe that women can't do anything unless we're firmly guided by the hand of a dictator who does our thinking for us, women are fully capable of, and believe me, eager to exchange ideas and argue and figure things out for ourselves. Well, I have to say, Sweet Cheeks, 1 out of 3 ain't bad. Exchange ideas. Gossiping's not exchanging ideas. Argue. Figure things out. Sure. Sure. As soon as you figure out how to put a light bulb in, get a fridge up a flight of stairs, and put an IKEA furniture pack together, then you can come back to me and say that again. Always have been. Sure, honey, sure. That's one of the reasons we think the long-standing belief that women are objects to be controlled by men instead of full people with full human rights is bullshit. That's not bullshit. Women are only on this earth to be controlled by men. I clearly stated this in my video. Hard on I suggested it, and so did Lazy Myers, so I must have said that. But her answer is no one. Right, fair enough. At least you didn't try and pull out some fucking random names and say, them sort of. Fair enough, that's not bad. It's still, you're still basically saying then that you chose to be part of a movement which you know does not have any leader or anyone at the helm or anything to state what these goals are. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. The second question, where can I go to find an official detailed list of the goals of feminism? She's put a photograph of Uranus, because she's funny. Sorry guys, he just makes it too easy. Naturally, as a leaderless movement that you chose to be part of, even though you knew that. You don't have to be part of it, you chose this. It's going to be difficult to say there's a definitive list. That said, I have seen full consensus in feminist land that this TED Talk by, oh God, I am going to butcher this, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, about feminism, the one that is sampled in Beyonce's song, Flawless, is dead on. I'm sure someone will dissent, but by and large, we dig it. So some TED Talk is where this list is, according to you? Are you serious? So if I was like, right, I want to be a feminist, where will I go to find a list? I'll look up, I'll totally remember the name, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, first of all, and then I'll totally look her up and see what she said. I mean, there should be an easier fucking way in this day and age. Beyonce, is she from the same state as you? Texas, isn't it? Of course, I imagine that it will piss off the guy who wrote this list. That's me. Where am I? Sorry about this. I've lost the place. This list, because she speaks with such warmth and common sense, and he'd prefer to think of feminists as cold-hearted harpies out to steal his balls. Cold-hearted harpies? You feminists? Never! What is the difference between a feminist and an egalitarian? Oh, by the way, our answer to that, where do I get a list of the feminist goals, is some random TED Talk by somebody's name you'll never remember in a billion years. I'm looking at it and I still can't fucking remember it. What's the difference between a feminist and an egalitarian? In theory, nothing. Right, okay, nothing. In practice, people say they are egalitarian but not feminist are people who believe in the equality of all people, but quietly don't include women in the category of people. Right, that's very similar to the way feminists say they're for equality for everyone, but don't count males as people. Very similar, isn't it? I think you've got them mixed up, sweetheart. I really do. You really have got them mixed up. Though, to be fair, I find they're usually racist too. Sure. Why not? Why not throw that in? They're probably ableist as well. They probably hate transsexuals, transgendered, transformers, gays, Muslims, Jews. Who else is it wrong to hate? White people. Oh no, not white people. Don't be silly. And if you push them hard enough, they tend to have a very narrow definition of people that usually only covers people that look like them. Again, you're describing feminism perfectly. You're definitely getting them mixed up. They do this because they find it convenient to relegate women to a servant class, and good for their ego to assume that they're better than half the human race, majority, 51%, simply because nature flipped a coin and they came up male. That's what happened, right? When I was born, I knew that women were to be my servants, and I'm angry at feminism because that's not the case. That's my story. This woman has totally got my number. So we move on to what is the difference between a real feminist and someone who's not a real feminist. Oh God, I've done it again. Her answer, by the way, the difference between a feminist and an egalitarian, was the two of them are the same, but they're different. That's exactly the answers that Lazy and Hardon gave me. They're the same, but they're also different. Well done, man. Well done. You're really fucking making me want to be a feminist. What's the difference between a real feminist and someone who's not a real feminist, right? Whether or not they actually support policies and ideas that allow women to achieve political, social and economic equality, there are people who claim to be feminists and then turn around and support policies and ideas that banning abortion, legalising sex discrimination, minimising sexual and domestic violence. That's odd. How odd that these are things that feminists always talk about that affect women, but no one else. That keep women second-class citizens. Well, a minute. Banning abortion. I wouldn't be in favour of that. Legalising sex discrimination, but surely that wouldn't keep women as second-class citizens. Would it not also keep men as second-class citizens? Because it would be sex discrimination, wouldn't it? Oh no, you thought only women could be affected by that, didn't you? It's alright, sweetheart. It's okay. I'll let you off with it. Since you've got pretty eyes, I'll let you away with it, right? Since I can objectify you. Minimising sexual and domestic violence. Again, it wouldn't keep women second-class citizens because men would suffer from that too, wouldn't they? Wouldn't they, honey? Come on, darling. You can figure this out. These people are clearly not feminists because if you believe in equality, you support policies that help achieve it. If you're confused, I recommend judging people on their actions, not their words. This is a helpful rule, not just in politics, but life. Well, thank you for that, honey. Thanks for that piece of advice there. But this is the problem. I have been judging feminism on its actions since day one. That's why I don't like feminism. That's why I'm completely against feminism. But you're starting to win me over, with your good looks, your charm, your flirting. You're doing well. I mean, I tell you, by the way, see if you keep this level of flirting up, you're going to end up getting me in the sack. Question 5. What have you actively done in the name of feminism? Besides arguing with misogynists in public, that's me, so as to help convince the world what enormous douchebags they are, me again. Even perhaps in cases where it should be self-evident. I know, right? A lot, actually. I mean, people contribute in different ways, some doing much more on-the-ground activism than I do. But I write and write and write and sometimes speak and podcast a lot. See, since you've got cute little dimples, honey, I won't point out that you said you write and then wrote 4 sentences in a row that started with and. I won't point that out because I like your dimples, okay? Keep up that dimple action. Okay, so you write, right? You sometimes speak and you podcast a lot, right? Not all of it is about feminism, but a lot is. Promoting feminist ideas is an important role and it helps people with political power make decisions that benefit women and promote their equality. Right. I bet you didn't think I was going to say this, Amanda, right? That is a bloody good answer, right? I mean, compared to the absolute grade A steaming pile of horse shit that those two atheists gave me, this is actually an answer, right? Now, I don't agree with your brand of feminism, but at least you answered this question. What have you actively done in the name of feminism? You admit that you don't do as much on the ground work as other people, but you do write and you spread the word by writing and speaking up and podcasting a lot. So you're spreading the message, your feminist message. And I'm totally in favour of that. I'm not going to slate you for that. I'm going to give you 8 points for that answer. And you're getting me closer to the sack, I can tell you that. With an answer like that, brilliant. Right, question 6. Does feminism benefit men? If so, give one such example. I could make a long list of the ways Peasy does this. No, honey, you got that wrong. What you meant to write there was PZ does nothing like this. He doesn't go anywhere near close to doing anything like this. That's what you meant to write. But I decided instead to answer this question with a GIF. Again, I don't know why there are not more women in comedy. Look at this. I'm not going to put the GIF up, but it basically says, I'll put the picture up, the ending picture. It's the logo of Disney, you know, and it and then it goes in the Disney writing, "Go fuck yourself," with a cactus. Oh, I don't know why there's not more women in comedy. I really don't. Feminism does not have to benefit men to be valid. If women are human beings, then fighting for women to be treated fairly and with dignity is enough. Only someone who believes women are put on earth to serve men, that would be me, wouldn't it, would think that feminism is invalid unless it serves men. That's exactly, specifically, totally what I said. If someone is telling you to take your boot off their neck and you say, "What's in it for me?" you're not just a dick, you're a cartoon villain. George Lucas might hesitate before putting you in a children's movie. You're such a one-note wanker. Stop the flirting, honey, stop it. The fact of the matter is that many men are threatened by feminism because, what was that? Oh God, I thought that was feminism there. Fucking grip it yourself. Come on, honey, get a grip. Because feminism does present a threat to their unearned privilege. There's like a list of buzzwords that come up in every feminist article, you know, and she's nearly hit them all. And I think that was the last one there. Privilege. Ding, bingo, house. If you need to feel superior to half of humans based on a coin flip because you don't have anything genuinely good about yourself to be proud of, I believe that feminism is totally a threat to you. If you enjoy having to work less hard for more goodies, well, yeah, feminism is a threat to you. If you want women to be submissive, oh, of course I do. Why would I want anything else? And treat you with respect, your sorry ass does not deserve. A movement that tells them they don't have to do that is going to be scary. Put another way, imagine someone serves a piece of pie to two people. Right, it's apple pie or, oh no, that's not important. All right. One person says, "I am going to eat 90% of this pie because I want to." The other person says, "Fuck no, you won't. We're sharing this, as that's only fair." In one sense, the person demanding 90% is going to feel threatened, since after all, they wanted 90%. But that sense of feeling threatened demonstrates that this person is made of nothing but grade A asshole. If you need a more intellectualized discourse about fairness, read Rawls, but most of us grasp that fairness is just a goal intrinsically. So, how does it benefit men? Your response is, it doesn't benefit men because men are the ones with their boots on women's necks. So you think you live in a society where men have their boots on women's necks, and metaphorically, you know. And in a way, you've got a point, because every time a war comes up that those men start, they always send the women, don't they, to fight, kill and die. They never send those privileged bastards. Number 7. How come I am nowhere to be found when bad feminists are giving feminism a bad name? Honey, you don't need to answer this question. You are one of the bad feminists. You're right there, giving them a bad name when they're there giving them a bad name. You don't need to answer this question at all, but let's see what he said. Of course, he believes, as someone opposed to feminism, he decides who is a good feminist and a bad feminist. Oh, that's the point. How am I supposed to tell the difference? The bad ones say the real feminists, like you, and the good ones who don't really know much about it but like the idea of the dictionary, they also call themselves real feminists and then say you're not. So they're not saying good or bad. It's you lot that are saying it. I suspect bad feminists are the ones who are effective at promoting the idea that men and women are equal. Or maybe he means this, and again a little gift with the Sound of Music kill all men thing. To which I say, carry on sister, carry on. And it's very nice, isn't it? So she agrees with the whole kill all men thing, and she proves my point in a way that these questions, Amanda, they were not for you. Thank you for answering them. And you did actually, it's amazing. I've had a few responses, right, to these questions, and you're the only one that's gave a fucking genuine answer to what have you actively done. At least you had things to say. Sure, your brand of feminism is annoying. Your message is total arse gravy, but at least you're doing it. At least you're spreading that message, and that's activism. So I can't fault you for that answer. You know, I mean, those other two knobs, I think their response was, "Oh, I write blogs about atheism because I'm interested in science." Duh! I think that was the best they could fucking muster. Christ's sake, for a couple of intelligent guys, it was really embarrassing, honestly. But at least you've come up. Your other answers were shit, by the way, but the dimples, the smile, the eyes, I'll let you off with them, sweetheart. I'll let you off with those, right? Don't worry about that. But the next time, honey, if you want, just ask me out, okay? None of this nonsense flirting in articles. That's not my style. But see this photo of you here, right? I need to show this photo again here, right? Ooh, isn't she lovely? Isn't she lovely? Anyway, this photo of you, Amanda, right? I know you'll be watching this. See, when I finish making this video, right? I'm going to masturbate to that picture, right? And there's nothing that you or any feminist, good or bad, can do about it. Thank you for listening. Until next time. Are you serious? So if I was like, right, I want to be a feminist, where will I go to find a list? I'll look up, I'll totally remember the name, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie first of all, and then I'll totally look her up and see what she said. I mean, there should be an easier fucking way in this day and age. Beyonce, is she from the same state as you? Texas, isn't it? Of course, I imagine that it will piss off the guy who wrote this list. That's me. Sorry about this. I've lost the place. This list, because she speaks with such warmth and common sense, and he'd prefer to think of feminists as cold-hearted harpies out to steal his balls. Cold-hearted harpies? You feminists? Never! What is the difference between a feminist and an egalitarian? Oh, by the way, our answer to that, where they get a list of the feminist goals, is some random TED talk by somebody's name you'll never remember in a billion years. I'm looking at it and I still can't fucking remember it. What's the difference between a feminist and an egalitarian? In theory, nothing. Right, okay, nothing. In practice, people say they are egalitarian but not feminist are people who believe in the equality of all people, but quietly don't include women in the category of people. Right, that's very similar to the way feminists say they're for equality for everyone, but don't count males as people. Very similar, isn't it? I think you've got them mixed up, sweetheart. I really do. You really have got them mixed up. Though my video, Hard on I suggested it, and so did Lazy Myers, so I must have said that. But her answer is no one. Right, fair enough. At least you didn't try and pull out some fucking random names and say, them sort of. Fair enough, that's not bad, that's not bad. It's still, you're still basically saying then that you chose to be part of a movement which you know does not have any leader or anyone at the helm or anything to state what these goals are. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. The second question, where can I go to find an official detailed list of the goals of feminism? She's put a photograph of Uranus, because she's funny. Sorry guys, he just makes it too easy. Naturally, as a leaderless movement that you chose to be part of, even though you knew that, you don't have to be part of it, you chose this. It's going to be difficult to say there's a definitive list. That said, I have seen full consensus in feminist land that this TED Talk by, oh God, I am going to butcher this, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, about feminism, the one that is sampled in Beyonce's song flawless, is dead on. I'm sure someone will dissent, but by and large, we dig it. So some TED Talk is where this list is, according to... I don't know why there are not more women in comedy. I don't get it. I just don't get it. There is no leader of the feminist movement. Hard on Ra said Gloria Steinem. I know it's such a fucking imbecile. Used to be, but that is false because there has never been a dear leader of feminism. Why are you doing that? Are you doing that to wind me up? Why is that dear leader capitalised? Is this a wind up? That's a wind up. I'm going to put that down to more flirting on your part, Amanda. As hard as it may be for misogynists, that's me, to believe that women can't do anything unless we're firmly guided by the hand of a dictator who does our thinking for us, women are fully capable of, and believe me, eager to exchange ideas and argue and figure things out for ourselves. Well, I have to say, sweet cheeks, 1 out of 3 ain't bad. Exchange ideas. Gossiping's not exchanging ideas. Argue. Figure things out. Sure. Sure. As soon as you figure out how to put a light bulb in, get a fridge up a flight of stairs, and put an IKEA furniture pack together, then you can come back to me and say that again. Always have been. Sure. Sure, honey. Sure. That's one of the reasons we think the long-standing belief that women are objects to be controlled by men instead of full people with full human rights is bullshit. That's not bullshit. Women are only on this earth to be controlled by men. I clearly stated this in my... Hi, thanks for listening. You know when women flirt, right? Me, I'm an expert. I know when women are flirting. It's usually along the lines of, stop following me, or get away from me, you creep, you know, something like that, right? I know, I can tell when women are flirting. Well, I've got this woman flirting with me. Oh God, I don't know. Her name's Amanda Marcotte, or Marcotte, or Marcotte. I'll just call her Sweet Cheeks, right? Anyway, this is what she looks like. So let's see a picture of her here. This is ooh, hello Dimples. How are you doing? God, she may actually been with a chance after all. She's worth objectifying for a while. Sure. Well, in a press release picture. Don't look at any other pictures now. This is from The Raw Story, celebrating 10 years of independent journalism. I read this. I wouldn't be celebrating. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, she's put this article up. Don't know why she just won't come out and ask me out, you know. At least be up front and just come out and ask me out. Why not just ask me? I don't know. They've got to hide behind this nonsense. Answering questions asked of feminists by a misogynist. That's me. Here we go. Damn you, Lazy Myers, for exposing me to some squawking lady hater. That's me. Who has questions for feminists that were aimed at Aaron Ra. No, they weren't. I didn't aim them at Hard On Ra. Someone else happened to mention it to him. It wasn't me. It was aimed at... Well, actually, the funny thing is that these questions were aimed specifically at feminists who are the complete opposite of you, the ones who say that you are not a real feminist. So you answering these questions is just brilliant. It's brilliant. Rather than just ask me out. I don't know, ask me for dinner if you want to go for dinner. Questions he clearly believes feminists are too scared to answer. It's more like they can't answer, because I know for a fact if they could answer, they wouldn't be scared to, that's for sure. The truth is, they're too good to dialogue with people who ask fake questions in bad faith in the classic concerned troll style. Of course, but just to show we're not afraid, I'll take the bait. Also, I can just answer them here, since Hard On Ra graciously typed them out I can just answer them without having to do any of the gross work, trying to dialogue with someone who isn't actually interested in the answers. That's me. So this is mostly for your amusement, folks. Hope you enjoy. Oh, let's hope so. So first question, who's the current leader of the feminist movement? Her answer is, your mom. Oh shit, I'm sorry, I read the question as the current leader in the giving birth to fart knockers movement. Very different movement.